Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nargiza. I live and work in Germany, and on my channel I make videos about Germany. In today's video I want to share my experience of learning German within 1 year. I speak German for the last 6 years, but I'm still learning, practicing and improving. Today I want to share with you my tips and suggestions so that you can learn German effectively in easy and the best way possible. First and foremost, set a goal. Define your goal by answering one simple question. Why are you learning German? Do you want to come and work in Germany? Or do you want to come and study in German? Maybe you want to better understand your German girlfriend or boyfriend. Or simply you love this language. There are many reasons why you want to learn German. By defining your goals, you will understand what exactly do you want from German language, and you will act accordingly. As the saying goes, the ship which sails without a destination will arrive nowhere. If you don't know why are you learning this language, then most probably you will end up not acting accordingly and not learning the language. The second step is logically, actively take an action and get involved with the language. Immerse yourself in this language. You might think to yourself, how if I'm not living in Germany or Germany is next door to my country? No worries. I have got your back covered. Almost in each and every country there is a German institution called Goethe Institute. If your country has the German embassy and if you are having a diplomatic relationship with Germany, then luckily there is one of these German institutes in your country, and maybe you are lucky and that's in your town. So go and register yourself to one of the German language courses in these institutions. The Goethe Institute is so far the best place to learn German abroad, because they have got highly qualified teachers to teach German, and mostly they are from Germany. And if you are already in Germany, basically you can take course everywhere and they are all quite good. If you are abroad, the Goethe Institute is 100% is the best options you have. I suggest you to go and learn German in a group, because when you are learning alone, then you are not practicing the language much and you will be forgetting a lot of things. Where you go to German course and learn the language in a group, you will have more practice, and also healthy competition can push you towards your goal. So if you're abroad, the 100% the best option is the Goethe Institute, and second best option is to learn it online. For example, in YouTube, there are so many good YouTube channels. I will link in the description of this video some of my favorite YouTube channels to learn German. Next thing is expose yourself to a German language. Even if you are abroad, even if you cannot travel to Germany as often as you would love to, try to find some alternative ways. For example, make some favorite playlist for your ears to listen to German songs while you are driving to work or to school, when you are sitting in the public transport, or if you are waiting in the queue for a longer hour for something. One important thing about the playlist is when you listen to German songs, try to understand what you are listening. I usually translate the songs into my language or into English, so that way I understand what is this song all about. This not only enriches my vocabulary of the foreign language, but it keeps me engaged with the language in a most fun way. So I use this tactic almost in all the languages that I learn. Well, we all have different tastes when it comes to the music, so if you don't prefer for German music that much, then you can switch to a podcast or the radio. The goal here is to expose yourself to a German language and listen to it as much as you can. You will be surprised how your memory will activate and your ears will get used to the German sounds, and you start learning and memorizing some words. It is the magical way of learning any language. It is a false belief when you think that, well, I'm not in Germany, so I cannot learn German as quick as you are. It's not always the truth, and that's a fairy tale when you think that you will come, suddenly you will start speaking German or you will be picking up it easily. No, the language learning takes equal effort when you are learning it at your home country or abroad. Don't think that if you come to Germany you will learn German very fast. Yes, it will help you in some way, but you have to do the work anyways. For example, when I came to Germany, I didn't speak a word of German, and it took me 1.5 years until I started trying to speak German, because I was getting by with my English. Places where I used to work, I used to get in touch with the colleagues who know better English, and all my friends who are English speaking Germans. It was easy for me, I felt comfortable, I managed quite well here without German. Only after some time, when I decided to stay in Germany and work here and live here, then I started paying more serious attention to the language, and that became my goal of learning the language. And practicing the speaking I didn't do for almost till 2 years while I was here, because when I was learning German in the German class, again it was full with foreigners, so we interacted with each other in English. It was really slow for me to learn German, because first thing I was lazy, second thing I didn't find it that attractive. And when you don't fall in love with the language that you are learning, it will be quite hard to force your brain to learn the language. The beautiful way is definitely to fall in love with the language, and then it will come automatically, or you feel as if it comes automatically. So it brings us to the tip number 3. Practice speaking as early as possible. In the early stages of learning the language, we are all shy and we don't feel confident. But after some time, once you build your vocabulary, you get more confidence. And when you speak the language, even if you know just the basics, try to use them in everyday life so that you practice them and it stays in your memory. For example, if you are living abroad and learning the German in Goethe Institute or in any courses, set yourself a goal. At least once in a week you will speak only in that language, no matter what, and try to not to break your promise to yourself. Try to talk even in the break time with your classmates in that targeted language. In our example it is German, then try to speak in German with your classmates, with your teacher. Try to find another contact. Ask your teacher if she knows some foreigners who live in your country. Invite them for a lunch, invite them for a kino, or get involved with them. Surround yourself with the German speaking people if you are not in Germany. For most of the foreigners, it's not easy to speak German because they don't surround themselves with Germans. In the beginning, we all look for a comfort, and we all look to the people who understand and speak English. But know that in the end of the day, if you want to learn German in Germany, then you have to speak with the native speakers in their native language. That way you will learn the language quickly, as obvious as it is. Don't feel shy, because Germans will appreciate that you are trying, and they will correct you, they will lead you, and they will help you. I know some foreigners who come in the groups and they stay here and they work and they surround themselves with the native mother tongue language groups, and it won't bring them anything, because what they do is speak in their mother tongue most of the time. They're losing so much potential of learning language. I don't say you should avoid your group and you should get mixed with Germans, no, but try to use the German language in the daily basis. Maybe you are working with Germans, that's why you are here, or maybe you are studying in Germany, that's why you are here. Then try to be a friend with Germans rather than with foreigners. In that way, you will force yourself to speak the language. As they say, practice leads to perfection. So try to practice, practice, and practice. The next tip: try to learn the grammar from the beginning once you are learning the language, because later on it will be hard to correct your mistakes. For example, as I mentioned, German language is generated. So learn all the German nouns with their articles. Der, die, das is the German articles. Der is masculine, die is feminine, and das is neutral. Once you learn the basics strongly from the beginning, it will be easy for you later on to communicate in German in a more professional way. As for me, I have put the grammar always to a second place, and I regret it till now. When I want to use the nouns, I have to go and check all the time in Google if I am using the correct noun. So don't do the mistakes I have done, or many foreigners do. When you say, I will learn the grammar later on, I will learn the grammar someday, the someday will never come. So try to concentrate, even if it is boring. I know it's not that attractive to learn the grammar, but it gives you that level of proficiency, and it will pay off later on in your life. I personally regret that I have not learned all the nouns with the articles, because that's the most hard thing to correct it now. It is time consuming when you try to correct yourself afterwards. Another thing, learn modal verbs if you wanna start speaking German quick. These are the most common modal verbs in German, and basically you can build any sentence with these modal verbs. So modal verbs will ease your life in many ways, because you don't have to conjugate the verbs when you are using the modal verb. The last suggestion is, don't forget to read. So when I started learning German, I used to read children's books because they were most fun to read and engaging. Slowly I changed to easy language novels, and after some time start reading best-selling books in German. And I suggest you also not to forget reading in German. Try to read some easy language novels, read newspapers, find essays in German. It is very important if you are preparing for German proficiency tests. Ask suggestions from your German colleagues if you are in Germany, or if you are abroad and learning German, then go to your teacher and ask to borrow you some reading materials. I'm sure you will find some suitable things which will help you improve your German reading skills. Lastly, if you are in Germany and you still don't speak German, I know so many foreigners who come to Germany and they don't learn German despite of being exposed to the German language in a native country. In my eyes, they are missing the lifetime opportunity, because where else you can learn the language if not in a native language speaking country? So what I would suggest to those foreigners who are living in Germany, surround yourself more with German people. Go with them to mountain hiking, fishing, to cinema. I remember my first movie in German. Have you ever been in a situation in cinema that you are watching some comedy movie, or there is a comedy scene in a movie, everybody laughs, and the best laugh comes somewhere in the end from someone who have got the joke in the end. That was me in the beginning when I came to Germany, because I went to cinema in a group and I didn't speak a word of German. There was an awkward situation when there was a comedy scene and everybody started laughing, and I didn't know why they are laughing, and my friend translated me afterwards that joke, and I laughed in the end. And I'm sure many people have looked it back and thought, who is this girl? So thank God the cinemas are in the dark They didn't know that that was me who laughed in the end. But anyways, that was kind of an experience. I have never experienced something like that before. Now I'm quite comfortable going to German movies and watching the German movies, of course, without subtitles. If you think that this incident stopped me going to a cinema, then you are wrong, because I went again and again and again. If you like the video, please comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on my next videos. Ciao!